I have a student who wrote me a beautiful letter and an email, and I asked his permission. He's from Bangladesh. I asked his permission, can I read out your letter today? And he wrote to me and he said, yes, permission granted. And here is his letter. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. I start with Allah's blessed name, and I praise Him and I glorify Him as He ought to be praised and glorified. And I pray for peace and blessings on all His noble messengers, and especially on our blessed Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. I am from Bangladesh. I visited Bangladesh twice. It's a beautiful country. I have not traveled to the north, but I've traveled to the south all the way to Chittagong, to Cox's Bazar, to Teknaf, and my gosh, they drive crazy on the roads. I am from Bangladesh, and I have been watching your lectures for a couple of years now. And I've been listening to lectures of other scholars for many years. But not a single one of them was able to convince me, especially regarding end-time topics and riba. I always felt their interpretation of the Quran and reality were completely disconnected. I felt like the dots are not connecting. And the reason I'm using the word felt is because at that time I had very little knowledge of the Quran and Hadith. And I did not know how to find the answers myself. So I relied on instincts. And now I know that my instincts were right. When I used to listen to the lectures, it always seemed to me as if they were just storytelling. I was never satisfied, nor was I convinced by their interpretation. But when I first started listening to your lectures, something inside of me was telling me that I've come to the right place. And this is the way the Quran should be studied, as advised by this scholar. In fact, it's not me, it's my teacher of blessed memory, Maulana Dr. Muhammad Fadlur Rahman Ansari, rahimahullah. Though at that point I had not even started studying the Quran using the correct methodology. But after I started studying the Quran using the correct methodology, my perceptions changed. I started seeing the Quran as divine guidance for everything. Your lectures and your methodology for study of the Quran makes it so easy to understand and to study the Quran. You inspired me to the point where I recite and I study the Quran now from a place of willingness and interest, not just obligation. Your lectures made me realize why the Quran itself is called a miracle. Your lectures helped me to see what I was completely clueless about. I critically analyzed your interpretations, and in the process, it triggered my thinking capabilities, which helped me to find the answers I was searching for. And this brought me to the conclusion that you are correct. You helped me develop that desire of becoming closer to Allah. And the change is massive, MashaAllah. I would like to address to you a topic today regarding Greece and the Orthodox Christians of Greece. This is important because I'm going to be visiting Greece soon, and also there is likelihood of war between Greece and Turkey, both of which are NATO countries, and the leadership of both seem to be dancing according to the tune being played by NATO. Let me repeat that. There's likelihood of war between Turkey and Greece, and the leadership of both countries seem both to be dancing in according to the tunes being played by NATO. I would like to address to you a topic today regarding Greece and the Orthodox Christians of Greece. Because sooner or later, your critics, I prefer to call them critics of truth, because they love criticizing the truth. So when you tell them the truth, they criticize you. They will come up with a bogus fact that since Greece is a NATO member state, that we are prohibited of forming an alliance with NATO member states. And that's why, and then why is Syeikh Imran Hosein talking about Muslims forming alliance and friendship with Greece? They will intentionally misinterpret and use this as a counterpoint to prove that you are wrong. Because I know and I understand that when you talk about Greece, you're not talking, that you are actually talking about the Orthodox Christians of Greece. And you're talking about forming an alliance and friendship with Orthodox Christians of Greece and not with the government or the state. And that the Orthodox Christians of Greece do not represent the government of Greece. This is a good point. This young man is a thinker. So the critics of truth will misinterpret it intentionally or unintentionally and try to misguide and confuse those who are still new to this or are confused. I wish all those critics could have the clarity of thinking that this young man has. It is the same with Russia. The critics of truth think that Russia is befriending Israel. But the truth is that it is Israel who is trying to befriend Russia, because Israel does not want any conflict with Russia. Israel knows that any conflict with Russia may again result in another exile for the Jews. The critics of truth fail to realize that liberating the Holy Land is not Russia's battle to fight. Rather, it will be a Muslim army which will do this job. MashaAllah, MashaAllah, MashaAllah for this young man. So all that is happening right now, mainly between of Russia, China, and the alliance of Russia and China and Israel, NATO, are all stepping stones to the Malhama, which is a transition stage to the end game. A brief moment in history when DAJJAL and Gog and Magog will be destroyed. Unfortunately, the critics of truth are lost somewhere and cannot put these pieces of the puzzle together. I'm writing this to you because I felt that I should. Correct me if I'm wrong about anything that I've shared. Thank you for inspiring me. Thank you for inspiring me to think and guiding me towards the right direction. I pray for Allah's blessings upon you, and may Allah put you in the highest level of Jannah. Ameen, Ameen. I will withhold his name, and thank you for this letter. It's surely a very pleasing thing to me that my students have this ability now to think.